Hello, hello.
Yes, I am remembering.
We are here.
What?
Where's
I'm on.
Michael? I just saw him get online on Steam a few minutes ago.
Oh, that sneaky bastard.
I got off work early today. First time I've been able to
Nice.
do that since I started. Nice.
Very nice. Whereas I just got off work myself. I should have been off an hour and a half ago. So, we totally got to come up with a title for this game rather than Android Shadow the Beanstalk Cops.
Do we though?
I mean, by the end of the first episode, we should know a theme.
Yeah.
It totally will be the Cyber the Shield by then. Somebody's going to Vic Mackey that shit.
Cyber the
Shield
Wire.
just sounds like a, like a kind of thing.
It's called ice.
Oh God!
And then things go south so fast. I figured I'd send Kelly that picture in Skype, and Joseph, hubba hubba.
Mm-hmm. I looked up Dirty Cop, and that was one of the first results. If I had known it was going to be this fun, I would have joined the police force.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I see that Vincent hasn't even logged in this lobby yet.
Judgment noises.
Why am I being mugged by cats? What the hell, guys? Why are you standing on me? Besides, I can.
Did you fill up their cat bowl?
Oh, they have food.
They just missed you then.
Little bastards.
So, any good ideas as to how to input ice and icebreakers into the character generator so we can use them?
Oh, that's a good question. I was going to look that up as soon as I got my computer on.
I think weapons might be a good place for icebreakers, but it doesn't give you the option to choose sysops or hacking as the base skill.
You might be able to put it in tools.
I think tools only lets me have. Let me see. Tools is over there. Hold on a second. Under item inventory.
Yeah, tools doesn't have a skill check.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't let me hit it to roll it.
So if you go to your character sheet...
Yes.
You could just do a custom skill at the bottom of your skills.
So the skills exist in the skill list. Like he put them in there. But in the weapons, talents, and powers tab, you are not. Well, I have been unable to use the custom skills that he put in.
Yeah, so it's not like NPCs where you can put custom 1 through 5. Players don't have that option, unfortunately. What you can do is in the modifier section, put what your skill is. So that way when you roll it, it'll know what dice to roll. So like, what is your computer stuff?
So yeah, as an example, the program I have to hack would be something based off of the computer hack skill.
Mm-hmm.
How do I modify that?
So the roll I just came up with, I'll send you a picture of what I did, and that's something you can probably do, as I just got my butt bit by a cat. The picture's going to come through Skype real quick because that's what I had open. So in the modifier section, you can put what your skill is in dice, and then when you click the dice roll, it'll automatically roll those dice.
Okay.
Now, it totally rolled extra for me on mine because I had a skill selected, which it shouldn't have, as the cat is now being nice and calm. But yeah, that is a bit of a pain in the ass. Oh, go with the combat skill one.
So combat skills gives me the option under general skills for basic computers, but not the modified ones for hacking and sysops.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, it doesn't matter. Like, if you don't mind it, I plan to have them balanced out, and for the sake of ease, I could just put them, just put them in the computer skill for the rolls. And that way, we could use the computer skills. But if there was an elegant solution, I would have preferred it.
The real question is, since on our skills page, computers as a base skill doesn't exist. There is hacking or sysops, so which one does it roll by default?
Whichever one you put in that spot.
Yeah. Would you write it over?
Yeah, you could just totally put whichever one you use. If you use one more than the other.
Or I think it says when I use it, it says can't find the character. So I don't think it has a field. It just won't let me roll anything with that.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Do-do-do-do. Da-da-la-da-da-da-dum.
I think perhaps you should just do the computer's sysops skill and then tell us what the thing does.
Yeah. I think that's what I'll do, and I can keep track of the software. That's not super hard, and then we'll just worry like normal. We'll just worry about the difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Wine time. Grown up juice time.
Okay, James,
Yeah.
I'm getting the Beanstalk games mixed up. Which one am I here?
Here you are Sherlock.
Okay, that's what I thought. The character name is just different. Again.
Yeah, I don't think we ever actually put your character's name on this one. I was leaving that for you to modify on it if you wanted.
Okay.
I can change it if you want.
No, I got it. I just...
So I will warn you in advance, since most of you are on, since we're still waiting for somebody. I'm totally stealing a lot from Mutant City Blues game material wise because it makes your guys' life easier to run a police procedural. So you'll notice there are a lot of handouts at the bottom.
Yes,
And spending advantage and disadvantage. I threw a lot of the Star Wars tables out there so you can use those. Because, say, rolling for investigation. It's nice to have extra things you can spend your advantage or disadvantage on.
like donuts.
Mmm.
Free
Donuts.
donuts for a week.
With sprinkles.
Mm. So, since I just input my character, none of you have taken a look at it, but under my talents, I have 3 talents. I have Disenfranchisto. Once per session, collect a small favor from another Disenfranchisto. Triumph Contact. Once per session, collect a small favor from a member of the crime families. And Undercity Contacts. Once per session, spend a story point to learn if a character of your choice is in New Angeles, and if so, what district.
Wow. So,
So, I'm the favor machine.
You definitely hang out with the wrong crowd.
Yep. That's this character.
I mean, I like the picture choice because, from The Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My talents are underestimated, custom rig, net search, and quick draw.
Mm.
Quick draw being, of course, everyone's favorite talent.
Yep.
Important. How are you going to get those memes out if it takes you a long time to make them?
Word.
I can put my hand on a piece of paper and draw you a turkey faster than anyone else.
Wow.
Cyber turkey.
Gobble, gobble. And of course, since you happen to have 3 hoppers, conveniently that you all have control of for moving them around on the map for purposes, who's going to be the designated drivers for your cop cars?
Well, I'm a bit of a drunken addict, so I don't think I should be a designated driver of anything.
You're going to be the cop that's riding in the back of the car and plans to ride in.
Mm-hmm. Criminals won't even know they're confessing to me.
I do not have driving. I'm at 2 green.
I'm at 3 green.
I'm at 1 green.
Wow.
Thank God hoppers have an autopilot for the most part where you can just put in your destination and let Google drive.
Listen, folks, I don't know what you expect out of this guy, but this is the hacker guy. Like, I don't know how many hacker guys you've ever seen that have been good at driving.
But like,
it's a computer.
that bad?
So I have 3
So
green,
half the
so
lights.
I guess I'm one of the better drivers.
I guess you and I are driving then. Let's
Well,
hope Michael is a good driver.
Just remember that that they do have an autopilot. So unless we get in trouble, we'll be fine. And we're real good at avoiding trouble.
Yeah, that's in fact what this group is
Just
entirely based on.
imagining. I'm just imagining Demolition Man.
I'm just thinking back to Istanbul.
I could totally see the one guy who's on autopilot is waiting for you guys to give him cross streets during your chase so he can tell the autopilot to go to the cross streets. And then all of a sudden the autopilot tells him, no, we cannot exceed the safety speed limit. And he's like, oh, this I can hack. All of a sudden you hack it and you decide, oh, 85 is the new 50.
Isn't it already?
Did a bunch of us go with investigator?
No, I'm a runner.
Everyone went with a nice spread of different careers, which will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have two. We have a bounty hunter, a soldier,
I'm
an
an
investigator.
investigator. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, it's
No.
okay.
I was just wondering if you went with the forensic kit. Because I went with the light pistol to plant on criminals to get them in trouble. Because that is 110% within my character's character.
Wow. Cat, are you trying to unplug my headphones?
You know he loves the cords.
Yep. Anything chewy.
Plus, it's just a bonus when he gets to annoy you.
Yep. That's his killer party bonus there. So, any other questions, by the way?
Yes. What is the CRB book?
That would be the Genesis Core Rulebook.
Core rulebook.
Oh, okay.
Core rulebook.
Wow, some kind of announcement just came over my headphones.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like Fish is following us on Twitter.
Yay! Hi, Fish.
I believe that's David Fish. As I'm pulling up another notepad.
Okay, I think that's it.
And let me double check to see what our Facebook vote was as a group. Because we made all kinds of decisions on the Facebook chat.
Yeah, we did.
You know, we chat too much in that group.
A little bit. Be nice if you could just search polls. Like going to a strip club.
I'll have to take your word for that.
That's not true. I happen to know you've been in a strip club with poles.
I have actually been in a strip club. I helped out on a movie that was filming at one.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I did a strip club in Germany on the way back.
We all know you like playing that Innocent Innocent game, but
I made $130. Yeah,
He was playing craps.
I made $130 at the Tennessee Gold Club, and I left it all to the cute bartender.
Aw.
No, God, no.
oh.
Hmm.
Okay, that's not gonna work. I was hoping to pop over to Dudes to copy quick draws,
Hmm.
and yeah, I just realized that's not gonna work. Can somebody cut and paste quick draw to Skype so I can copy it?
There you go.
Thank you.
If you get 3 rings of quick draw, you can rapid fire a ballista.
I thought it wasn't ranked.
You can get multiple ranks. Pretty sure.
It says rank no.
No? Lame.
Well, according to what you just sent me,
I just copy and pasted from the Dark Heresy site.
okay. Although I don't think it actually does anything for me now. Oh yeah, okay. I can do it as an incidental.
Mhm.
That'll be good. Oh, okay. Pop it on said, re-pop out. Okay, let's do this again then. Now pop out. Okay, James, on the Roll20, oh wait, does that work? Ah, okay. Can you edit the titles on the handouts?
We can. I am assuming the one you're talking about is the...
Sweetheart, you're on mute.
Yes, I am on mute. You're right. Yes, you can. I'm assuming you would like me to edit the spending advantage and disadvantage to put the skill in the front so you can read it.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, that was something I was just thinking of when I was looking through the handouts. Sorry, I had to step away for a
Otherwise, we
second.
have to have that whole screen like halfway. Well, I won't exaggerate. Only a quarter of the way into the rest of the screen.
Look like 15 minutes of previews.
And since I put them all in a folder, I'll just make it so it's just the skill. Like that. That look better?
Let me close and open and see if it changes. No, it does not. Maybe I need to log out and log back in?
If you just refresh your page, it should fix it.
Oh, okay.
Because when I originally made all of these...
Yeah, well... Actually, I was talking about the advantage and triumphs. If you can change that to A and T... Ah, there they go.
So it should be just the skills name now.
Okay. The top 4 happened. Let me redo it.
I'm doing them one at a time, so it's going to take a few minutes.
Well, then why'd you tell me to refresh and see if it was all okay?
Well, to see if the
prototype
prototype works.
That one on your fault.
If the first one worked, that's all that mattered.
Oh,
and
okay.
Since
then
you guys
should have said that.
Since you guys
Is the first one okay? No, you did not. You said, "Are they all better now?"
See, it was a test. And there's more than just skills in there, by the way. I took some of the things like using triumph, advantage, threat, and things in vertical spaces. Since remember, in the city of New Angeles, it's sort of like Fifth Element, where you see the flying taxi cabs. Not as bad as Clone Wars, where you see Anakin and them jumping off of crazy shit, but it's still close. And also took the table they have for when in crowds. That's a fun one for city stuff.
Oh, for the police interviewing technique, you forgot what's usually always the first question. When was the last time you saw X?
That's a good one.
I thought it was usually where were you on the night of...
Well, yeah, that's number 2.
There you go. Now I got them all there for you.
Thank you.
And
you're my favorite.
Since you guys are new to Android for the most part, definitely check out the favor economy, because since you all have somebody that you've picked as your faction, it's got the actual game mechanics in it, so that way you can see what you can do for your favor every game session. Mainly the little paragraph underneath the here's how you spend, get favor in the beginning. Because there's nothing better than that whole, your GM can always decide that an NPC has no interest in being out of favor and is going to demand some other kind of recompensance for their services.
Michael says he'll be on in 10.
Yet he was already on Steam, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the whole favor scale, where does it compare to Vampire the Masquerade?
Okay, so if it helps, let me... So, dollar value on the little pop-up for favor...
No, sorry. No, not in exchange for an exchange. How often are they actually used, or is that like it depends upon how much we use it type of thing?
Yeah, it depends on, what exactly you're wanting to use or what exactly I want to compel type of thing.
Okay. Because the paragraph you don't want to use or have too many because it gets confusing does not count in a masquerade game.
Yeah. Because that can get really ugly really quick.
Or really beautiful really quick.
And of course, definitely keep track of your favors on your character's bio page is the easiest way.
Okay.
Because, of course, the character sheet itself doesn't really have a spot to put it.
There's notes.
Yeah, but your bio page gives you more free reign.
I don't know. I kind of like the notes. You don't have to like completely get out of it and get back into it and reset.
True. And definitely look at the subplots page and tell me which 3 you like. So I'm like, why am I seeing a different section there? Okay. Because those are little subplots that make your character more interesting as a cop. And let me get my little notepad out. And I know most of you have your weapons picked out, but if you are wishing to requisition NAPD equipment, that is totally a thing you can do, because I know you guys are all plainclothes detectives, but sometimes you want to have regular cop stuff on hand. By the way, I will be the first one to point out that the HHI weapons are like the shit, because they're almost like Judge Dredd guns.
Moonlighting as a bodyguard. Oh, yeah. I'll take that one. And a troubled, long-lost relative. Yeah. We're a family of cops, but there's that one cousin or brother that's...
There's always that one cousin that got drummed out of the force.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there we go. Relative has a brush with the law. There, 2 in 1. Troubled long lost relative comes back into my life, and yeah.
I would like my Bioroid to choose the one where his kids get hassled at school because he's a mutant.
And then really that was just a movie the Byroid just watched.
That's right.
What's anamorphy?
Oh, what?
Quaid Institute's Forensic Anamorphy Department.
Oh, you can ignore that part.
Oh, okay.
Confidential informant rescue. Do-do-do-do-do.
Sounds like a theme song.
It's the 80s, right?
Apparently an 80s sitcom.
Fighting crime with the power of friendship and other crime. Do-do-do.
Two wrongs can make a right. There's the catchphrase.
Oh, yes. Because I have already forgotten.
And Scott, to answer your question, I just pasted it on your sheet for you. Now everybody's like, what secret questions are they saying?
Oh,
So
thank
many
you.
secrets.
So I moved over to Facebook because it's easier.
I definitely agree. Mainly because I'm in Facebook right now looking stuff up. So I'm like, I need that book open.
And I think the subplot that I gave you technically isn't 3, but it can go in so many different directions, it kind of counts for more than 1.
And that's just fun.
Okay. So is that good, or you need me to come up with more?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Was that a laugh or a snore?
Laugh.
Let's separate that. There's nothing worse than 2 tabs that you're trying to look at it simultaneously on the same window. Now, as the tiebreaker of the group, are you guys wanting to live in have your precinct in the worst neighborhood ever? Or a little better?
Which ones are the 3 that we're looking at?
Laguna Velasco. Then we've got Qualquil, and then Base de Cayampe.
Wait, what are we looking at?
Where do you want to have your precinct set?
Well, Laguna Vallasco, that was the one that was kind of like Gotham, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I like that one personally. But I think the other ones are also good.
See, they're all interesting.
Yeah, they're all great tones.
Laguna's got the built around the reservoir from yesteryear. It's in the physical and political center of the city, home to the social elite. It hosts some of the city's most lavish and expensive opera houses, concert halls, museums, art galleries, and hotels.
What would we be doing there?
And it still has its fair share of less than desirables. The powers that be go to great lengths to hide this blemish on the otherwise pristine district.
I think we would stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay, something a little more rough and tumble for you. Okay.
Yeah.
How many of us are like major social grabbers?
That's why it
How
would
many
be
of us are
great.
what?
How many of us would want to get transferred to that department? Exactly.
Yeah.
I imagine that's a department that's a reward for people that play the favor economy.
Very true. Is that a new person logging on there, I hear? I was hopeful.
You misplaced your hope.
I think for this group, since you're all aiming for the heavy hitters feel, and we need that grunge cyberpunk feel that. See, I'm going to totally throw this out there and say, how do y'all pronounce this? Just because it's the district where you're +2 to find guns and explosives.
Guayaquil.
Well, I'm
Geico?
in a
Yeah, I posted it in Roll20, not in Skype.
Yeah, I had to look through every single option before I got to there.
On the
I
plus
don't
side, in the New Angela's Tour Guide PDF, conveniently available on Drive-Thru RPG, when it comes to org crime, organized crime, an assortment of the big hitters have their hands in something throughout this somewhat politically forgotten district. Though it isn't all bad illegal enterprises, such as the black market in this area make up clean water, power, and infrastructural repair.
And what's the other one?
The other one is at the base of the Beanstalk, and basically it's less guns, more tech.
The Esmeraldas.
Yeah.
Personally, I would be happy with either of them. I think my character would be better in the tech section, but I think we'll be fine either way.
We have our answer. The tie has been broken. Let's make sure what I put in the notes here is what you can actually read.
So where are we going?
Basically, if you're looking at the map, it's the
Okay,
very
it's a real
southern district.
James,
Okay.
Yep.
it's a real city in Ecuador.
Yeah, Guayaquil is a real city in Ecuador, and maybe in this world you can actually drink the water because the water there is not potable in real life.
So the computer says it's Guayaquil. But, I got a horrible Anglo mouth, so.
So the question is, what did you guys do to get stationed here?
What do you mean do? I chose this.
So there are a few places of interest. If you look at the NAPD sub-precinct station, I put in there the location that you're at and some of the interesting city notes. On the plus side, it's a lot cheaper for you to live in there. If you're living as a disenfranchised, basically slum, it's only 125 credits a month to live on. You can honestly be a street performer earning 4 credits a day and survive.
Wow, if you're a street performer only earning 4 credits a day, you're really bad.
No, but the problem is you need to make at least 4 to be able to eat, drink, and find a place to sleep that's safe.
Right, unless people are giving you the equivalent of nickels.
Whoa. Are you saying we can be safe for 4 credits a day?
Well, safe is relative.
Well, I don't think it's that necessarily that they're a bad performer. It's just that the people in the area don't have any extra cash to spare.
Yeah. It's hard to get money for extravagances.
Uh-huh.
Is there no prostitutes on the corner?
Oh, well, look who's here.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, if you're performing in a bad part of town, you're a bad street performer.
No.
Or you just can't afford a license to perform elsewhere.
Or
I
they
was gonna
run you off.
You could be a performer. I mean, there's homeless and drunk people.
But they're not going to make you money.
Exactly. That's why they're bad.
I wouldn't say bad. I would see less desirable from a financial standpoint.
I'd say I would agree with bad street performer because the street itself is bad and not repaired.
And if you're out in the waterways, avoid this area down here because my other RPG group's dealing with some crap that's happening down there. Damn chemical companies dumping in the water. So Vincent, you've logged in for the very first time. Yes, your character sheet's snitching you out that you haven't logged in yet.
Yeah, well,
You have control of your character now. Start clicking.
oh, there we are. I was gonna say, I was like looking at bio and info. I'm like, why is there nothing else? Oh, and I still have to kind of create it too.
What is the map in the lower right hand corner? Is it like a subway station thing?
Yep, that is the public transit map. I thought that was a cool addition, so I threw that in there.
Hey, benefits of being where we are, like we have like all the access to most of the lines here.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, all the trash floats down to Guayaquil.
or the worst part is everyone can get the hell out of town if they really need to.
Okay, so it mentioned it was 380th on the repair list. Out of how many?
Out of like, a good 500 sub precincts.
Out of
Okay.
380.
I mean, there's some that just have been abandoned completely, and that's like the bottom, 150.
That would be where we're in.
Yep.
The sad thing
Okay.
is, when you guys are at your office, there's like this ghost town of 40 cubicles, and there's just the 5 of you looking at each other across the way. And you totally know somebody's going to be the guy that wants to sit next to one other person, and everybody's like, "Why are you sitting next to me? There's like 20 chairs over there to sit."
What's I just realized I don't have this filled in. What's the calculation for our encumbrance?
5 plus your brawn.
There we go.
So, encumbrance.
And I've totally given that character the wrong controller. Let's fix that.
So that would be.
So, Joseph, you should have control of your icon. I believe you're still adding things because your wound and strain do not look right.
No, I think you just don't have it linked to the character sheet, right? Oh, right.
No.
It's because we start at max
Yeah.
in this because it's fucky. There we go.
And it would help if I checked the C box so you can actually see it.
Yes.
Because now there's all those extra things you have to click to see shit. Basically making it so your GMs can hide shit from your players. Okay. Let's see, I don't have Eric's token yet.
Okay, James, I left you another Facebook note.
Okay, give me just a sec.
Okay, nope, not a hurry.
Somebody could already prove that they can play with their token. And if anybody wonders, Kelly's character is definitely the tank of the group.
Good, that's a good change of pace.
Yeah, I thought I would actually try something that's hitty. I mean, I never play a tanky sword.
You said yours was a veteran of the World's War, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She lost an eye on her tour of duty.
Tur.
Tar. And don't forget to take a peek at the factions tab, because that shows you some of the different factions if I throw out the corporations names or the gang names, if you're not sure, including the NAPD as a faction.
NAFTA.
And using factions in-game, I will give you the benefits and drawbacks of belonging to a faction, since you all belong to one. There are benefits and drawbacks to belonging to a faction. The primary benefit is narrative. Yay, narrative everything.
Yes.
If your character belongs to a faction, they have the ability to call on the resources of that faction. A member of the NAPD can call the fellow officers to help bail them out if they're in trouble, and an employee of a corporation can be able to access the corporate lab for a little bit of help. Of course, your character belongs to a faction. That faction will be calling on your character to perform tasks for it. Corporate employees need to show up for work. Members of criminal organizations may need to participate in illegal activities. And human first sympathizers, may need to smash a bioroid with a sledgehammer.
I would.
How about we smash them instead?
And failing to do these tasks can result in being kicked out, fired, or cut off from your faction. Once per session, you may spend a story point to have someone else in your faction perform a small favor or regular favor for you. So just for the low price of a story point, you can cash in to get someone to do something for you. Once per session, your GM may spend a story point, as the cat goes across my face, to have someone else in your faction request you perform a small or regular favor. This must be completed by the end of the session. And the following are some of the major factions in New Angeles.
Does that count as favor economy, or is that outside of it?
That is outside of it, because I'm spending,
Okay.
I'm spending or you're spending a story point to make it happen. But that can come in really handy if you guys are in a pinch in an investigation.
So if you use a story token, that's not a favor that we need to keep track of, because you're spending the story point to make it happen.
Correct.
Yep. It's not a favor that we're going to pay back. It is specifically a favor that we are paying back.
Exactly. Like the story point is the economy you're spending. Whereas like Scott was talking about the boons and vampire, where you owe somebody a solid, you have to keep track of that.
Yeah.
Story points are basically the quick and dirty way for you to cash in on that. And another quick and dirty way for the GMs to give away some story points or to get some back.
So we've like all of our characters, we've got a pretty disparate background, if I'm reading us right. And are we all in different departments, or like are we on a task force or something?
Who do we choose as our watch commander?
The
minority
angry
lady.
gal. The angry lady.
chick with the chip on her shoulder.
Yeah, the one that makes that expects more from the mutants and minorities and robots under her command, because she's been discriminated against, and she requires us to be a higher level.
Yep,
Great.
Lieutenant Nancy Johnson. Every second you're out on the street, you're being judged, detective, and don't you forget about it.
Does she prefer ma'am or sir?
She prefers sir, because she doesn't want you to make any exceptions for anybody.
Yeah, okay.
That's another thing you just mentioned. Are we all detectives, or?
You guys will go around with the rank of detective.
Okay.
Like
just because it
one?
makes life easier.
Yes. So we're all roughly the same level. Because I'm like, if it's not computer based, I'm not going to be too good at detecting. It's just,
But the
And of-
detectives don't wear uniforms, correct?
Correct. You can be in your own street clothes.
Wait,
I'm
so we have to
comfortable
wear
in a uniform.
You can wear a uniform if you want.
Hell will.
I mean, totally
For
look at
a
like
vest at least.
the OCP cops of classic RoboCop. You know, even the detectives still wore the full uniform, including flak vest and everything else.
I think she would be more comfortable in a flak vest.
Does she own a flak vest?
Yes, she
She's
will.
a personalized flak vest.
Hey, I know a few folks that have bought their own personal gear. You know.
Yeah.
I donated to buy one for the canine officers. The bulletproof vest for they make for them.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Songs.
Somebody said one of those weeks you need songs. And of course, remember in the setting background that there is kind of that deal of dealing with almost like in Blade Runner, the whole aspect of what is human, what is not human between the androids, which include both clone and biroids, which the biroids are basically your biomechanical robots that think they're people because they're basically based on a person's mind. So they are fully adaptable like a person, but they're still a robot whose brain is sitting in their chest cavity.
Ha, they
Yes.
think they're a person.
Yes, biroids can lose their head and keep functioning.
Yeah, you're just jealous because you can't lose your head.
And of
And
course,
And your brain isn't surrounded by 2 inches of metal.
and clones are considered property as opposed to people, which a owner can emancipate their clone and give them, some rights. But like if you go to McDonald's, there's the standard Ken and Barbie models serving at every McDonald's.
That's
If you do
problematic.
Johnny Cab, there's the Johnny model clone that drives every one of the cabs.
Would you say he's Johnny on the spot?
He's Johnny on the spot that you need. So is there any questions y'all got?
Sorry for being so quiet. I'm trying to create my character.
And you've got yourself muted, so we're not hearing the clicky clack, clicky clack, clicky clack.
Yeah. Yeah, I was typing away like no other.
And if you are looking for any source material besides the World Book and the Fluff Book, there is a Android card game wiki page that's got a lot of stuff.
Ah, yes.
Wiki, wiki, wiki. And of course, background setting, the reason why it's called Shadow the Beanstalk is there is a giant tube going up.
Beanstalk. There's a giant up at the top. It has a goose that lays golden eggs.
There's no beanstalk. It's just a shadow. There's just a shadow over the whole town. It's very disconcerting.
Just like that. And of course, your classic cyberpunk game, you've got your mega corporations that try to control whatever they do. They want to be the only company effective at doing what they do.
Unless you're what is it, Wayland, in
Yep.
which you don't care what other people think.
If you're Wayland, you're actually unhappy with people doing what they do. And of course, you've got the network, which is the equivalent of the web. And there are parts of the network that things have been cut off from. So during one of the little confrontations that happened, there were some AIs that went all rogue and crazy stuff. And to keep Skynet from happening, they just kind of partitioned off that part of the network and locked it down. So there is the dark net. That you don't know what's crawling around out there. And of course, like I was saying earlier, you have control of your police hoppers. Don't wreck them. You really don't want to wreck them, because then you're going to be stuck driving the wrecked one. And it doesn't take much to wreck these hoppers. If you look at them, their stats are not the best. But they are conveniently Hopper 101, 102, and 103. I totally won't tell you where I got the picture for them from. But the fact that
it's an upside down vacuum cleaner.
But the fact that they
Your
only
mom's
have
a vacuum cleaner.
5 hull trauma and 5 system strain. It's on the planetary tab, by the way. There you go.
Oh.
On the plus side, it holds 2 officers in the front, but it can hold up to 3 prisoners in the back.
Ooh.
2 in the front, 3 in the back.
And with the exception of weapons that are ranged heavy or restricted, most weapons are legal to carry on the street, by the way.
USA, USA, USA.
and the other ones just require a permit, right? Like it's a talent.
There's totally that talent that will let you have a permit to carry it.
It's like, why do you have a minigun that fires grenades?
Because I'm a goddamn American.
Because I'm investigating this arcade for fraud.
Is the Beanstalk still considered U.S.?
Yep, for like another 20 years.
Yep, technically it's one of those situations where the U.S. came and annexed it.
Cough, cough, Panama.
And they basically run the show, but it's not really U.S. soil, but it kind of is, mainly because they can drop a military on it. And during the World's War, they kind of did, so they kind of make sure to maintain their presence. I mean, the government is American. The police force is based on American police force,
We're occupying this area for the good of the people within it.
And also money.
Also money.
The moon colony is also U.S., right?
Yes.
By virtue of the same reasoning that, until a couple of months ago, Afghanistan was also U.S.
Until if you've ever watched The Expanse, you start seeing some Expanse shit happening.
Yeah.
Because, The Expanse is a great example of what the current political environment's like. Mars isn't happy that it's towing the line, but it's towing the line. Everybody would like to have their freedom from Earth, but they're kind of being forced to toe the line. Because when the planet with the better economy and the better space force, that type of thing.
Space Force.
Space Force.
Yeah, it's really tough when they can cut off your air.
You know, the planet that's got
I don't
unlimited
know if they
air.
really cut off the air.
Something nice to be said when you're the planet that has unlimited air supply.
Realistically, if you had like even a moderate chemical and industrial base on another planet, you can make air from rocks.
Not in Total Recall like 1994.
Yes, that is correct. That Mars, in fact, exists solely as a rock with no oxygen inside of it whatsoever.
It had the water glacier core that the aliens left behind.
Exactly.
It's some type of Death Star.
You know, it was totally their plan.
Eric, I love you because I was, in fact, immediately thinking of Total Recall 1994 when I was saying that. And I'm just so happy you brought it up.
I'm just saying, one of the mutations in this book is not extra boobs. It's totally unrealistic as to my knowledge of science fiction.
That would be just a generic, like
cosmetic
mod.
Yeah, you'll notice in the mods they kind of like bunch together. You can, let's just hope that Edge Studios comes out with some more. They're probably not, because this IP is technically owned by Wizards of the Coast now. So
that said, Twilight Imperium could have cybernetics.
This is true, and you can totally, like with all of the Genesis stuff, totally switch and trade from one to another.
The cybernetics I'm not unhappy with, but the G mods, I think I was expecting a little bit more out of them.
Yeah, I was expecting a few more pages of both of them technically.
Yeah.
It's only so far in the future.
You know, it's so far in the future they forgot what the second number in the calendar was. It's 2X.
Do.
You know, you've been playing Star Wars too much when you type in the word gang and a picture of a gank comes up automatically.
Gank.
It's not gang, it's gank gang.
That's right. Smashy, smashy.
You about done there, Michael?
Yeah. I was copying and pasting. I was trying to find all the talents. Which I do know.
That's just like a police siren in the background.
And I also got special use permit.
Good lord.
He's like, I'm a cop, but I want to be a cop who can do stuff too.
I'm a super cop.
Yeah. Are you the RoboCop though?
Yeah, I'm always doing the fucking flip when I put my gun away.
Good.
And
I
for
was
the
actually
weapons,
thinking about that, but I don't have the agility.
For the weapons, do I have to put in like the damage and everything, or does that is that automatically?
You'll need to put it in.
You'll need to put it in there.
All right, cool beans. Just wanted to make sure.
Do you have something modifying the dice pool right now?
I probably do. Let me check. Yes, I do. The dice pool is clear now. Actually, I'm lying. It's not clear.
Now it's clear.
Okay, that's better.
Sir, you already have 5 intelligence. Good lord.
Byroid.
It's important to know how to hack well. If you're a hacker.
And one thing you will notice on a lot of weapons, the damage is lower than other games, but a lot more shit has pierce.
Mm-hmm. All of the mass drivers.
Like a submachine gun here has auto fire, pierce 2, but only does damage 5.
But that pierce too.
Pierce 2 with auto fire means it's doing probably at least 4 to 6 points regardless of your soak.
Yep.
That's halfway to death.
It sounds like these weapons they're not more deadly, but they're more consistent.
Uh-huh.
So you're not going to have people just standing around not getting hit for a while. I think that might not be bad. It'll make the combat encounters faster. Ran out of breath.
And of course, you can always call in a trauma team, which is basically the medics. And yes, they do carry stun guns with them. Short range stun guns for their own protection. Because, they're not stupid.
Pew 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 pew. Calling a meat wagon. So I'm happy that my primary defensive system is pop-up ads. My ice that I chose for my tablet is pop-ups. Because I'm good at defending, and being able to damage people's sanity is something that strain is something that's nice. Scam likely, that's right. Scam likely is my internet name.
Very nice.
Yes.
And by the way, anyone that wants to be good at fighting, definitely look at the Street Fighter talent. That's a good one.
Oh, already got one. I got that one.
I had it as my last character, Korik.
Yep.
Goric.
And then find
was
weapons
nice.
that do knockdown.
Yep. There's also just a talent that gives you knockdown.
Yep.
I have knockdown.
Do you have a shotgun?
No, I have an auto rifle.
Oh.
Full pump. Full pup, or whatever.
Now the question is, since you guys are in the bad part of town, is this one of those that you're going to report to the watch commander that you have a trunk full of guns, or are you just going to take the trunk full of guns? Is someone snoring? Kelly, is that you?
I think someone's asleep.
I'm going to go knock on Kelly's door. I think it's Kelly.
Oh my.
This is what happens
Was me.
Were you snoring just now?
No.
No? Are you sure?
No.
Fair enough.
And that's how you successfully pull off a deception check when you're being interrogated.
No. Are you telling the truth? No.
Sorry.
It was kind of loud there. I mean, at first it sounded like somebody pulling up a straw in a drinking cup, but then the exhale. You were good on the intake, but not the exhale.
Apparently, I did not mute myself.
No, you did not. It's okay.
Well, now that it's 8:30.
Yeah, guy who showed up late.
Alright. Yeah, my bad, guys. I'm here, though.
Who showed up late after not putting his character in beforehand.
Yeah, says the other guy who didn't put his character in until tonight.
Hey, I still put it in before we started.
Hey, I wasn't even home.
That's the sound of a car not caring.
I thought that was the sound of a gong.
Gong.
Yep. All right. I'm Gucci gang.
Are you Gucci gang?
I'm Gucci gang.
Or are you just gank gang?
Nah, he's Prada Nada.
Prada nada?
Prada nut.
Nada Prada.
And of course, I'll be utilizing the when it's a minion, by the way, there's going to be colored dots to let you know. So you can totally out of character know that it's a minion, but don't worry about it.
I think we're ready to go.
So, you guys, you're based in the worst part of town.
Woo! Wouldn't have it any other way.
Somebody roll me a 1d10. So we can establish some resources in your police precinct.
Bam.
Woohoo!
10. So you have 10.
Damn, yeah.
You have
That's my roll
access
for the night, guys.
to
That's what-
10
thank
cam
you.
drones, by the way, if you need them.
God damn.
By
You
the
got
way,
what?
10 cam drones. Basically,
Oh, geez.
they're little teeny tiny camera drones that go flying around town taking pictures of shit, or if someone calls 911 to report like a non-emergency crime, it'll show up to take pictures of the crime scene, so that way it saves you in report time.
This is nice and convenient.
Or it can totally be used by somebody who's good with hacking, or in the future wants to take the animal companion feat so they can have cam minions. Because if you've watched Legion 2, you know that having drones at your beck and call is pretty nice.
Does anyone have high? What is it? Wisdom? Like because
Cunning?
that's what the cam drones require, right? Like the Beastmaster ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I've got 3 cunning. Or 3 willpower, depending on which one
I
it
think
is.
it's willpower. Yeah, it's willpower.
I got 3 in both, so ain't no difference.
Despair.
My next character, I have to start stat heavy. I just realized the way that I create characters, none of my starting characters have like 4s or 5s.
But you've got some
Yeah.
access to some
Change that.
cool stuff.
Access to some cool stuff.
I mean, granted, in my opinion, stats are always the best expense at the very get-go.
Yeah. Because it's the only time you can, unless you're playing a one shot.
Mm-hmm. Even
All
then.
right. So let's get rolling. Let's do a little something.
Okay, so all of you except for the rookie pretty much have worked with each other for a while. You know the usual humdrum. Like if you've ever seen, God, what's that one cop show?
Michael, you need to change your character's name and also get a portrait.
Now that's hey, slow down your roll, buddy. All right, that's what I'm doing.
I think the police drama that you're trying to refer to is Fish Police.
Yep.
that's what I'm getting.
Of course it is.
The first one that comes to mind.
So you guys, normally the police teams work in shifts, and there's always that dependable when a new shift comes on, a new shift leaves. So pretty much for you guys, when you have your time shift, which you guys can kind of totally pick when that is, it's your watch commander and you guys. You're gonna constantly have cases, which is why everybody wants to look down at the subplots and or clearing cases. Because your whole job is to close cases. Just
Yes.
close those cases. Say somebody is cheering because they just closed a case.
Woo! Woo!
And definitely check out secondary cases if you're looking for ideas. Because you can just totally throw out ideas of, oh yeah, I'm working these other cases that have nothing to do with the case that's going on. Because for some strange reason, y'all are going to be working together for a lot of shit instead of a bunch of detectives off doing their individual shit.
I mean, that would make sense if we were a specific task force that was given like a warrant for a certain, that it was needed. Maybe it's a political thing. Someone at the city hall thought that having a dedicated firefighter squad would be good.
Do you guys want that? Because we didn't really kind of talk through much other than cops. I mean, do you want to be like an org crime unit, a special victims unit kind of thing?
I think it would make sense for us to be some type of task force, just because otherwise there's no way 5 detectives would be working together all the time.
It's especially 5 detectives that like have such disparate skills. Like why would the cyber crimes guy be hanging out with the
Dirty cop and
yeah
and the fucking bruiser.
Yeah.
I like how he immediately throws himself out there. The dirty cop.
I mean, the shoe fits. I'll steal the shoe.
If the gumshoe fits.
All right. Yeah, I'm all good now, guys.
I see you have a picture there, so I'm making your menu real quick.
See you, Space
So,
Cowboy.
do you guys want... I mean, that's up to you guys. You tell me.
I'm for doing something like that because for me it makes the most sense narratively. I think it'd be the easier way to step into this role, unless anyone else has a compelling reason for us to have an Avengers movie style reason we all have to get together thing.
Now, I always prefer having that at the beginning and not needing to like fake it.
And for me, I am a bounty hunter.
Well,
I used to
remember,
be a cop.
bounty hunter's a broad term. It just means you have the skills of tracing people down. So as a detective, it could totally be bounty hunter's a great career for a cop because you're able to get in the streets and hunt down criminals.
Gotta change my background. All right.
Hey, if your background is you were a bounty hunter, that's a cool thing too.
Yeah, basically.
You do need to add your wounds and strain, by the way, because it looks like they're at 0.
What? All right, sorry.
So what kind of task
species
force
are you?
do you guys want to be? Oof, besides the speed abatement.
Street racing task force.
Who's got street racing happening in your living room?
But it's me. But only because that's just me accurately mimicking Corto, the Bioroid. That's just normal for this time of night.
He makes noises like a drag race.
That was a fart for Corto.
If you're gonna be a Bioroid, you might as well get hot rod modifications, guys. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. He has a turbocharger installed in his rectum.
Must make it difficult to sit.
Actually, it would be a supercharger because you're running it using exhaust gases. He has a supercharger installed in his rectum.
That should give me a speed bonus.
Yep. He has a turbocharger installed in his throat.
You can go uphill real fast. So what kind of, discuss amongst yourselves? I mean, what is...
I would say that the one that makes the most sense is a special crimes unit. Just ones that don't necessarily that fit multiple different aspects at once. That would require having a bunch of different skills as opposed to a bunch of specialists that go out to one thing.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think Rainbow Six is a bunch of people that shoot things.
No, they are, but they're a special.
You're saying that like that's not gonna be us.
I don't have a gun.
And yet...
You do the most.
I do.
It's like, and yet.
Yeah,
I don't have a gun, but you will.
I think by the end of this we will all have some type of weapon, but Like that makes sense to me. I think a special crimes unit where we are given cases that seem like they fit multiple uh, definitions.
To which I say, what say you all? It's a group
I'm
conversation,
good with
guys.
it.
I like that. I like a just special case unit. We will be called the Biscuits.
The what?
No baked
No.
goods. No.
Well, I thought of like Popeye's
Hell
biscuits, you
no.
know, without any type of liquid, you're just choking to death. That's what we do, choke people to death.
We can work on a team name later.
Okay, so you're basically giving out like the whatever the hard case of the month is, type of deal.
Yeah,
That's our group name, Hard Cases.
the hard cases that actually wouldn't be terrible.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm thinking something like the whatever hard cases there are, or even cold cases that weren't solved that just some weeks we go out because there's something that's actually going on. Other weeks we try and investigate something that has already been filed as unlikely to be solved. This one is Joseph's. He is the dirty cop. Get it? Dirty cop.
Do you feel judged?
I've got an idea.
I feel like my joke is landing.
How about this is Sergeant Johnson's idea, because you think it'll clear more cases to have everybody working on it rather than have everybody working on one. Any case that she thinks is going to be tougher, she gives to us to clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So that way,
I think we're called the Hard Cases.
almost like Vic Mackey's squad from the Shield back in the day, where you had a bunch of great detectives that just were given a go do a thing. Here's the thing, go do a thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that Vice?
Well, they were mainly Vice Squad, yeah. But why limit you guys? And in the case of your Byroid friend, the devices.
Vices and devices.
As I'm just looking for one more picture. I was totally looking for a cool Yakuza picture, but it's not going to happen. Found some cool Yakuza pictures, but there's a paywall. Okay, so everybody's characters all ready? Vincent?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so and technically we only we do need all now. Are you going to drive all three of your cars, or are you all going to drive two cars and somebody's going to sit in the back seat? I figured it's a good question to ask.
That would really depend on Michael's agility.
I think it more depends on if we're going to be going to a case where we're expecting to arrest people, or if we're going to a case where we're expecting to investigate crime. Because if we need the back seat space.
This would be a situation where you're going somewhere to basically observe.
So we're trying to keep a low profile?
Not really a low profile, just, keeping an eye out for some stuff.
I think in this case,
We
Are
could
we-
just take one.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we're trying not to be too obvious, then one vehicle would be better.
Okay, so as
Instead of the cars, can we get like one major van that we all fit in?
Dun, 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 dun.
eventually you can, or you can always
Da-da,
try to
da-da.
requisition.
Requisition.
There's
in terms
always
of
the option.
in terms of requisitioning stuff, do we want to like rob the Age of Rebellion system of the duty system?
Duty.
Because it would kind of be a good system for that.
It would. I was just going to let you guys do standard requisition like in Age of Rebellion. Because they've got the requisition rules for if you're like in the Clone Wars era, you can requisition based on the rarity of the item.
Mm. But duty would let us trade it in for something like a SWAT-ish van.
True.
Whereas requisitioning is more like we have a standard kit that we keep.
well, that is something that we can do later because we're not planning to do that today, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if we're just going to go observe something, let's all go in one car.
Randolpho, what's your driving ability?
2. Driving.
Okay, looks like I'm driving.
Now is
Yeah,
that
either
2
you or me.
greens or 2 golds?
Hold on, who has
Greetings.
2 golds?
No,
That's what I'm asking. Is if it's he said 2. I'm asking what type of dice it was.
Oh.
So on any given day, if you were to pull up at this particular street corner at this particular day, and you were to watch the front of this building, where would you park your car and put yourselves? Now, be mindful, these are hoppers, they can hover. You can park them on top of buildings.
Yes!
I know, that's exciting.
That is amazing. I agree with that level of energy.
I say let's take it up here because no one's going to be looking up from outside of this cafe. It looks like, or club.
I'm a fan of down
Astros
here.
going to the
Up
World
here?
Series. Woohoo!
Yes.
I guess that means it'll be an easy year for whoever else gets into the World Series.
Yeah.
Who made it into the World Series?
The Astros.
Woohoo! Astros!
Well, they're very excited.
They are.
Yes, she is. Remember, she's from South Texas.
That's not an excuse for liking the Astros.
And of course, I know someone's going to ask the question, so I'll put it down here at the very bottom of the map. She's very happy. That short is going to be 5 squares. And medium is 10 squares.
Okay.
As the medium is very chunky compared to the short. And long is anything past that. Okay, so you guys are parking, on top of the building there?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so you guys are up on the building looking down on the streets?
Okay.
Or are any of you trying to disperse? Now remember, this is busy city streets, it's got that dreary late night cyberpunk feel, there's little, rolling food carts, there's cars zipping back and forth. This is a really popular club, henceforth the neon sign, for a lot of ne'er-do-wells. Believe it or not, there's not much music pumping out the door. They actually have good sound system in there. So if you guys would like to spread out before action hits, you totally can.
I think that would be a good idea.
I mean, if you're
So-
cops and you
Do
want
you want me to
divide
stay
and
with the
conquer,
car? I mean, or
Do we want you to stay with the car?
I mean, if I'm driving, do you want me to just hang here until I'm called in, or
Out of curiosity, are you good at shooting things from a long distance?
I'm good at shooting things, period. But hold
Like-
on, let me check my specific long range.
I like
Because,
how Hell got
yeah,
the character there.
if you are good at like long range, you could sit right in front of the car and just aim down.
Well, ranged light I'm better at. Range heavy I'm still pretty good at.
More importantly, what is your weapon?
You know what? I know I have a pistol, but let me see if we have anything. I have a medium range light pistol.
So that you should probably.
Apparently, yeah, I should be on the ground.
You should probably be street level in case something happens. Because that height of the building would take you from medium to long.
As long as there's an easy way for us to get up there, then we're fine, right?
There's usually stairwells to go up the levels. Some places have really handy dandy lifts on the outside. This building, unfortunately, has a stairwell.
Fair. We can still get up there.
So how are you chilling right there, Eric? Are you just like standing around, or are you looking like a homeless person
I'm gonna use
sitting on the ground?
I'm gonna use my skullduggery to actually just kind of be standing in the shadows of the light over here, just
Looking
like,
slightly menacing.
more. Yeah, actually, like kind of slightly menacing, kind of a dealer-y vibe.
Okay.
Definitely sounds like skullduggery.
Yep.
So it sounds like everybody's ready to start.
Yes.
Kelly?
I'm gonna be over here
Yep.
smoking a death stick. Wait, wrong